For this afternoon's game. First, for the Cougars of Goodpasture, 00, guard Lauren King. Number 11, forward Allie Wellful. And forward number 24, Paige Randolph. And center number 42, Olivia Jones. And guard number 43, Caleb Floyd. The Cougars are head coached by Joseph Simmons, assistant coach Lauren Cotton. And now the starting lineup for your USN Tigers. And guard junior number 4, Olivia Dawson. And senior number 13, Mary Sophia Wright. Number 24, sophomore, Brooke Burgess. And junior number 25, Amara Payne. And sophomore number 35, Kaya Smith. Tigers are head coached by Dee Davis, assistant coaches Michelle Booker and Kenitha Pope.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Sperling Gymnasium for another afternoon of Tiger basketball. Today, the USN Tigers take on the Cougars of Goodpasture Christian School. Amara Payne will jump it up for USN against Jones for Goodpasture. And the opening tip comes loose, still loose. Payne has it. USN has the first possession. Payne pushes it forward, gives it back to Olivia. Olivia drives to her left. Throws it into the corner to Burgess. Burgess launches a three, well short. Rebound Floyd. She gets it into the front court to Wellful. She attacks the basket. Layup is too strong. Rebound is gathered by King, the point guard. She gets it over to Wellful. Wellful looking to post up Jones. Jones puts it up, no good. Mary Sophia has the rebound. And the Tigers set up their second possession of the afternoon. They're looking into the post. And a sloppy pass finds its way into the backcourt and costs the Tigers possession. So it'll be Goodpasture ball. Floyd brings it up, working against Burgess. She gets it over to Wellful. Wellful to Randolph in the corner. She brings it back to the middle. One dribble and a pass to King, but she traveled. Feels a little too quiet without the cheerleaders doing their classic travel chant, E-Tide.
For sure. Still, despite that travel, I think Goodpasture looks organized. They look good coming up in the first quarter, and I'm excited to see how they play.
Tigers break the press. Payne wanted a quick pass there to try to get a layup. It wasn't there. Dawson gets it to Reich in the middle. Kaya Smith tries to seal off the defender. Couldn't quite do it. Floyd attacks the basket, doesn't get the layup. And Mary Sophia had excellent position, was fouled from behind by Jones. So it'll be Tiger ball once again. 6:43 remaining in the opening quarter. Goodpasture in a press. It's like, I don't know how I would describe this press. Look, a 1-2-1-1 is how I saw it.
I'm not sure. I feel like they just want to apply as much pressure as they can. Kind of just make the Tigers disconnected out at the opening and force whatever turnover they can.
Goodpasture draws a foul. Fouls on Mary Sophia, her first. Floyd inbounds the ball and then gets it back from King. She gives it to Welfel. Welfel looking to drive left again. Payne blocks it and takes it away herself. But she mishandled the dribble. And the ball comes back to Goodpasture. Coach Davis not happy on that one that Brooke didn't come back to help Amara there.
Amara's taking the role of point forward here. She's already done that 3 times, taking up the court. You know she's good with ball handling and good inside the paint, so she's taking up all positions.
King throws it over to Randolph. Randolph steps back, now looking to go to her left, gets it over to Floyd. Floyd back to Randolph. Randolph launches a 3, it's off to the right. Burgess taps the rebound out. Dawson gathers it for USN. She gets it over to Burgess. Burgess looking to attack, 1-on-3, kicks it out to Payne. Payne drives in amongst all the defenders, and it's going to be a travel. Both the officials look at each other to decide if they agree, and they do. So Welfel inbounds the ball to Floyd. Floyd brings it forward. Burgess defending her, just as she crosses the half-court stripe. Welfel looking to drive again, can't cross Amara over. She's forced to throw it out to Randolph, who gets it over to Floyd. Floyd back to Welfel. Welfel driving right, gets it to Randolph, who goes to her left. Amara fouled her.
You know, Tigers are playing with energy here, but it just seems like Goodpasture's beating them with their quickness. They're constantly moving and constantly getting open players, open looks, but the Tigers are just going to need to keep up with them here.
3-pointer from the corner for King. That breaks the scoreless tie, and it's 3-0 Goodpasture in the early going. Wright gets it forward to Dawson. Dawson, her pass is deflected and taken away by Randolph. Randolph gives it to Welfel. Welfel tries to lay up with the left hand, no good. Rebound loose. Gathered by Randolph. She lays it up, also no good. Wright fighting for the rebound, and it's a jump ball. Players tumble to the floor, and the possession arrow favors the Cougars. Coach D appears to be calling for time, and she does. Could be a 30-second timeout.
This just seems like a frustrated first quarter, Coach.
There's a long way to go. Tigers have turned it over a few times. Haven't put up a ton of shots, so we'll see if they can start getting some shots off. They'll make their share.
Definitely.
We can get back in this game.
Definitely. Just a 3-point game. Only 3 minutes into the game. But basically all the Tigers need to look to do is limit their turnovers, just possess the ball as well as they can, and essentially put up whatever shots they can. They're going to get open shots. If they pass, they're going to get shots inside the paint. And just making and taking those shots is going to win them the game.
It is a quiet gym this Saturday afternoon, but we could hear almost everything Dee said in that timeout. She was pleading with her team to step up their play. We'll see if they do that coming out of the timeout. Quickly, it's a foul on Dawson. Dee didn't like the call. Her glance at the official says more than words could ever do. King's first free throw is good, and that extends the Goodpasture lead to 4-0. She receives the ball from the official. Right foot in front of the left. Second free throw is good. 5-0 Goodpasture. They continue to press. Tigers pass it through the press, get it to Kaya Smith, but she didn't receive the pass, didn't get there in time. Dawson with a great strip, it went off of King. Outstanding play by Olivia Dawson there to force a turnover, prevented a layup as well.
Great play right there. You know, they gave the ball up at that press breaker, but Dawson didn't hesitate to come back and get the turnover and get the ball back.
Dawson throws it out of the trap. She knew she was about to be trapped, but she threw it too far for Amara, and it's another USN turnover.
This trap press seems to be really hurting the Tigers here. it almost seems as though Goodpasture is triple teaming whoever has the ball, and that's making it hard for the Tigers to bring it up court.
High screen from Randolph. Frees Floyd for a moment, but Wright comes over to help. Now they throw it to the opposite corner to Welfel. She's looking to drive again, puts it up with the right hand, it falls in. Friendly bounce off the rim there, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Cougars. Dawson tries to throw it back, and she threw it too far. Coach D has seen enough of somebody, and Courtney Rabb's about to check in.
Already second backcourt violation. Coach D obviously wants to change something up. She'll put Courtney Rabb in to try to keep getting the ball up court and possess the ball better.
The swarming Cougar defense has forced many turnovers here in the first quarter. Three-point attempt is no good from Whitworth, and the Tigers have the rebound. Burgess looking to increase the tempo a little bit. She attacks the basket all the way. She's fouled by Whitworth. Nice penetration there. That's what the Tigers needed.
And that's what's going to help them get back at this lead. They're having a lot of trouble with the press, but if they go out on the break and use every fast break opportunity, they'll be able to get some easy buckets.
Brooks' first free throw rattles out. And the Tigers remain scoreless as we approach the halfway mark of the first quarter. Burgess with a spin. Lets it go. It's good. So the score is 7-1 in favor of Goodpasture. 4:05 remaining in the opening quarter. Cougars nearly throw it away, but they recover it. Whitworth throws it over to Welfel. Welfel to King. King back over to Randolph. She goes down to get it. Passes it back out. They throw it into the corner. Three-pointer on the way. Short. Kane tips the rebound. Not once, but twice. Burgess comes away with it. She's working 1-on-3, attacking the basket. The ball was taken away by Randolph. Randolph pushing back the other way. And they're going to call an offensive foul, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Randolph pushed off with the forearm. You can see it.
For sure. I'm really enjoying seeing how the Tigers are setting up their own press. They saw that the Cougars were doing the same, and so if they're giving pressure, why not give pressure back? It's the only way to compete.
Yes, sir. Burgess throws it into Courtney Rabb, who gets it over to Reich. Burgess then rotates into the corner, puts up an 18-footer. Good! So Brooke Burgess is handling the scoring duties thus far. She's got all three of the Tiger points. They trail 7-3.
Awesome shot there by Burgess.
Whitworth throws it into the corner. They get it back out to Welfel. Dribble was deflected, nearly a double dribble. But the Tigers come away with it. Reich throws it out to Rabb. Rabb over to Burgess. Back to Rabb. Back to Burgess in the corner. She tries another three. Short. Rebound Welfel. She's double teamed. She's fouled. They're going to call Amara, I believe.
Tigers were maybe looking for a jump ball there, but I'm guessing Amara got a little piece of her arm.
So Dawson reports to the scorer's table. She's hoping to check in for Amara. She does. And the Cougars throw it in as we cross under 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. That's Amara's second foul, so we'll have to see how much she plays for the rest of the half. Kyle drains the three for the Cougars, and that restores the Goodpasture lead to 7 at 10-3. Dawson with a nice little crossover dribble. She's rejected by Randolph, and here come the Cougars the other way. Brooke Burgess gets back, but Kyle shoots it from 5 feet over, and she converts. That makes it 12-3.
The Cougars can hit from almost anywhere, it seems. They're slashing inside, they're hitting threes outside, mid-range jumpers, you name it.
Dawson with the ball up top, gets it to Reich at the high post. Reich working to her left. Gives it to Courtney, gets it back. Reverses the ball over to Burgess on the other side. She throws it up high to Olivia. Gets it over to Courtney. Kaya Smith looking to post up, they can't get it to her. Burgess nearly has it taken away by Randolph a couple of times. She gives it to Courtney. Now Kaya Smith comes free. Left-hand layup. Good! And the Tiger fans signal their approval as USN reduces their deficit to 7, 12-5.
When nothing's working, pass it to Kaya.
Randolph up high, guarded by Mary Sophia. Kyle flashes through the lane, can't handle the pass, and the Tigers have it. Courtney throws it over to Olivia. Olivia moving up, gives it to Courtney. Back to Olivia. Over to Burgess. Back to Olivia. Some of the fans seem to be calling for a pass into the post, but it was too late. Kaya was doubled there. It's another turnover. Here come the Cougars. Attacking the basket was King. She had a step, but she was fouled. Coach T continues to be unhappy with what she's seen so far. Really seems to want this win today.
That's right. We've got a 7-2 Tigers going up against a 9-0 Goodpasture team. Coach T is looking to make a statement today. It's 12-5, low-scoring game, obviously, but it's time for the Tigers to make a statement and show that they can win against this good team.
Sydney Neal, the sharpshooting freshman, checks in for the Tigers. She replaces Burgess, and Neha Saki checks in for Kaya Smith. One free throw is good for King, and it's 13-5 Goodpasture as we approach the 1 minute mark remaining in the first quarter. High screen from Wright. Dossett picks up the handle, gives it over to Courtney, gets it back. High screen coming. Dossett crosses over, gives it to Courtney in the corner. Courtney launches a three, too strong. Rebound is loose. Sydney Neal has it. Throws it back out to Olivia. Gives it to Courtney. Courtney passes down low to Mary Sophia. Mary Sophia goes left, kicks it out to Sydney. Sydney shuffled her feet. She traveled.
A lot of traveling going on today.
That was the right call. You could see it from up here.
It was. She moved her feet, gave it a little shuffle, so of course it had to be a travel.
Floyd brings the ball forward in the final half minute. Courtney Rabb deflected it, and it was off of King. Yes, nicely done. The tremendous defense of Courtney Rabb can be depended on night in and night out. And we see it again just there, giving the Tigers what may be the last possession of the first quarter. Olivia working to her left against Floyd. Now comes back to the right, trying to drive. Kicks it out in the corner to Sydney Neal. Sydney launches a three. It's long. Courtney tips the rebound, but Randolph is the one to get it. The ball is swatted at. It's kicked free. And they say it's off Goodpasture. But the official nearest to play is overruled by official behind the play. And it'll be Cougar ball with 10.8 remaining in the first. King to inbound, sets the play into motion, throws it to Floyd. Floyd over to Whitworth. Pass is knocked free, it's loose. Sydney has it with 5 seconds. She pushes forward. Attacking the basket, puts it up, no good. Neha Saki the rebound, she can't get a shot off, and the quarter is over. So we're through 8 minutes here at Sperling. The score, your USN Tigers trail Goodpasture 13-5.
Low scoring first quarter, but the Tigers had some good things going for them. They were feisty on defense. 13 points isn't so bad. They were able to get a couple great steals. They did have trouble though against that press. Gave up many turnovers to the Cougars because of that. And right now they should just continue to play their tough and aggressive defense, but also just look to get more shots, whether it be threes or inside in the paint, because you've got two great post scorers with Amara and Kaya, and you've got shooters all around you who can do it at any moment.
Before we begin the second quarter, we at USN Broadcasting would like to thank one of our sponsors, Steve Gorman Sports on Fox Sports Radio. He's got one of the best talk shows on radio, let me tell you. Give him a listen if you haven't heard him before. You can hear him via the iHeartRadio app from 5 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Steve Gorman Sports on Fox Sports Radio. We certainly appreciate their support of USN Tiger Broadcasting.
That's right. If you want to talk sports, there's no one better than Steve Gorman.
Amen to that. It'll be Tiger ball to start the second quarter. They trail 13-5. Mary Sophia throws it into Brooke. Brooke calls out the first play of the second quarter. She throws it to Olivia and then gets it back to Olivia. Amara's looking to post up. She's back in the game with 2 fouls. Brooke shoots an 18-footer, too strong. Rebound is juggled and gathered by Whitworth. Whitworth's going to bring it over herself. They try to get it forward, and the pass went right into Olivia's foot and caromed out of bounds. Parks for Goodpasture will inbound. Throws it across over to Whitworth. No, excuse me, to Randolph. Randolph looking to drive. She kicks it out to Whitworth. Whitworth with a ball fake. Gives it to King. King guarded by Burgess all the way out near half court. Over to Randolph. Randolph throws it down to Parks in the post. Parks kicks it out to Whitworth. Whitworth over to Randolph again. Back to Whitworth. Tiger defense not allowing many opportunities here. Floyd now with the ball on the other side. Can they get something going on the right? Brooke ties her up. Jump ball. The Cougars will keep it, but it's very fine defense indeed.
That's that good hustle we like to see from the Tigers. They're constantly working on defense, and if their offense isn't working, they've always got their defense to rely on.
Goodpasture sends a couple of substitutes in. They might not have been too happy with their first possession of this quarter. Whitworth with the ball, throws it to Owens. Owens to Parks. Parks working against Kaya, throws it up with the left hand, no good. But Goodpasture gets the rebound just before it goes out of bounds. Wolf working against Olivia, and she certainly traveled. Yes, indeed. Olivia with excellent defense. Tigers have escalated their defense quite a bit here in the second quarter, and the Cougars are going to call for time.
Definitely. Cougars head coach not happy because the Tigers are playing so well on defense. But what I'm seeing is that they're allowing a lot of second chance opportunities. Another key to winning this game is rebounding, and rebounding on every defensive possession and getting those chances back on offense. So if they're going to win this game, they want to focus on the boards and on defense, and the shots will come.
Goodpasture's coach quite animated in the huddle. He's quite displeased indeed with what he's seen thus far in the second quarter. Excuse me, go ahead, Itai.
Score hasn't changed, but still it seems that he's just frustrated with what the offense of the Cougars is producing. It seems like he thinks there could be a little more. They're not doing what he wants right now.
Their pace has slowed since they opened up a 7-0 lead in the early going. Meanwhile, in the Tiger huddle, Coach D is taking a more measured approach with her team, instructing the players on how to play the game. The Tigers break their huddle shortly after the sounding of the first horn, indicating 15 seconds remaining in the timeout. And there we hear the second horn, which indicates that the timeout is over. Both teams are back on the floor. Tigers have their 5 starters. Brooke Burgess will be the one to bring the ball forward. Gets it over to Wright. Wright to Dawson. Passes it back to Wright. Payne has it at the high post, gives it to Burgess. Back to Dawson, Dawson to Wright down low. Tries to get Kaya Smith, but the pass is too strong. And it's another turnover. So Goodpasture will have it. 6:37 remaining in the opening half. King calls out the play for Goodpasture. Olivia guards her. She picks up her dribble, throws it over to Whitworth. Whitworth takes one dribble, picks it up herself, gets it to Parks at the high post. Back to Whitworth. Whitworth gives it over to Welfel. Welfel, one dribble, picks it up as well, gives it to King. King with a lob pass down to the post to Owen. She couldn't get it, and the pass hit the baseline, so the Tigers get it back.
That was a great play looking there, but they just ended up being careless at the end, gave no ball right back to the Tigers.
Goodpasture switched to a zone defense, appears to be a 3-2 zone. Very interesting. And we'll see how the Tigers elect to attack it.
And that's interesting because I believe our strong suit is in the post, down low. And as we can see here, Amara goes up, and they're looking inside. They want to score inside, and they know Amara and Kai can do that. And giving that 3-2 zone to have the weak side at the bottom, that's big for the Tigers.
The Tigers have 3 big players right out there right now. They don't get it to any of them at the moment. Dawson with a crossover dribble to her right, puts up a floating one-hander, too strong. Kaya Smith has the rebound. She traveled. She did so well to get the rebound. Shame that she traveled, but she did. And Goodpasture has it back. 5:41 left in the opening half. They lead by 8, 13-5. Parks throws it into the corner to Whitworth. Owens posting up against Kaya. Kaya doesn't leave her feet. Nice fundamentally sound defense, and it leads to a turnover. Here comes Burgess the other way. Hands off to Payne. Payne puts it up, no good. Owens with the rebound for Goodpasture. Outlet to King. Here comes King the other way. She's working against Brooke. Throws it over to Welfel, gets a screen, they switch it. Back up high to King, now guarded by Mary Sophia. Another high screen coming. It's well executed. High dribble. King lays it up and in.
They've been calling the double dribble so tightly tonight. You know, it's surprising that they didn't call that one.
The first basket of the second quarter for either team puts Goodpasture in a 10-point lead, 13-5. Brooke gives it to Dawson. They try to get it to Wright. Wright's fouled. A hush falls over the crowd as two substitutes enter the game for Goodpasture. Goodpasture plays a lot of players, and they play them in short shifts, frequently substituting.
They want fresh legs here. They want to be able to run the court. They want to be able to be strong on defense, and that's the way they're going to do it. Constantly subbing players that they trust.
It's a very common strategy against bigger teams to try to wear them out and make them run the floor over and over again. Let's see if that's what they try to do. Latham seeing her first action, she gives it over to Whitworth. Now Owens. Owens is fouled by Kaya. She'll go to the line. The sixth team foul on USN, so Goodpasture will be in the bonus from here forward. Owens will shoot 2 on this one. It was a shooting foul. First free throw spins out. Nearly went in. Sydney Neal and Courtney Rabb check in for Mary Sophia and Olivia Dawson. 4:25 remaining in the opening half. The players signal their box-out responsibilities to one another. And Owens launches her second free throw, and it is good. So Goodpasture leads by 11. 16-5, Tigers break the press. Pass the ball nicely. Sydney dribbles it, passes to Amara. Her shot's blocked by Randolph. Randolph now bringing it the other way. Throws it forward. Owens is open, launches an 8-footer. It's good. Completely uncontested there, too easy a basket. And Goodpasture's in a press now. Can the Tigers break it? They say that Brooke traveled. Took one dribble, picked it up, not sure.
Coach, like you said, they seem to be running them out now. The Tigers have a constant rotation of about 8, I believe, while Goodpasture is more around 10 to 12. Goodpasture's able to run the break, set up their press, and that's putting a ton of pressure on the Tigers. Tigers are turning it over. They can't run quite like the Cougars can, and it's just hard for them.
We're going to have to see what Coach D, the master strategist, comes up with here to overcome this Cougar pressure. The Tigers have turned it over many times in the backcourt, and that's led to a lot of easy points.
You know, it may be beneficial to do something similar to what the Cougars are doing, but just focus your offense on one of the star players, if you would say so. Run your plays through them, and the rest can be role players and just run for you.
The Cougars turn it over. The inbound pass was not handled well by Welfel, and the Tigers have it. Sydney throws it out to Brooke. Brooke over to Courtney. Back to Brooke. Brooke looking to drive. Gets into the lane. She's fouled. Pretty hard foul there from Randolph. But Brooke's tough. She's fine. She'll go to the line, and she'll shoot 2. Yeah, that's what they teach you not to do there, Itai, to swat at the ball with your arm, rather just to go straight up. And Brooke's nose is bleeding.
Yeah, definitely a foul. It's obviously much better to just go up with the ball and keep your arms up. Obviously, the Cougars weren't doing that there, and they paid for it. Brooke's gonna get 2 shots, and now she's got a bloody nose, but she'll be back soon enough.
A bloody uniform always tells a story, Itai, and she's got one now. She's asking if she can still shoot the free throws. I don't believe that will be allowed. Olivia Dawson has checked in. They're wiping some blood from the floor now, per the usual protocol. It's not a terribly sanitary thing, blood.
No, it's not. But I'm sure Brooke will be back soon enough, and you can already see, just from the desire to shoot those free throws, Brooke wants to be out there, and she wants to be winning this game for Tigers.
We got to give a shout out to USN's trainer, working with great haste to try to clean Brooke's uniform so that she can re-enter play. But for now, she'll take a short break, as with 3:46 remaining in the opening half, Olivia Dawson stands at the foul line in Brooke's stead, where she will shoot 2 free throws. The official bounces her the ball. Olivia steps in, squats, dribbles, sets, shoots, scores. So it's back down to 18-6. The official tells Courtney to tuck her jersey in a little bit better, then gives the ball to Olivia. 3 dribbles, a spin, shot on its way, no good. Goodpasture gets the rebound. Ball flowers to Latham. Latham working against Sydney Neal. Sydney's going for a steal, defending her really well. She's got to watch that left hand. Yep, there's a foul. She reached in.
She did. The Tigers fans, along with the coaching staff, they're unhappy about it. But it happens sometimes. Now they're in the bonus. She'll have a 1-and-1 and a chance to increase this lead to, what, 14?
If she converts both, it'll be a 14-point lead. We commented last night on your mathematical prowess, and it has not dulled in the last 24 hours.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's only getting better from here.
First free throw is good from Latham, 19-6 now, in favor of the Cougars. She has the ball, shoots her second. It is good as well. So it's 20-6. Tigers now working against the press again. Dawson gets away for a moment, but 2 defenders come over to get her. She gets it to Kaya Smith. Kaya throws it forward to Sydney. Sydney juggled it a little bit. Amara was free for a moment, but Sydney hadn't yet handled the pass. Now the Tigers can set up in their half-court offense. Goodpasture's now into a 2-3 zone. But it seems possibly to be rotating into a 3-2. Latham over on the wing is coming up pretty high.
Once they get it past half court, the Tigers are free to do whatever they want. They're getting the pass they want, maybe not there, as they just got a turnover, but the Tigers are open and willing to many shots.
Tigers have struggled to hit the passing lanes on the entry passes to the post, and it has led to many turnovers in the half-court offense.
The Cougars just look quick today. I mean, they're intercepting every pass they can, and it seems like they're just one step ahead of the Tigers.
Olivia Dawson commits the foul there. So Whitworth goes to the line. First free throw spins out. She'll shoot another. Dawson checks out, as does Amara. Olivia now with 3 fouls. So the Tigers, who are basically rotating 7 players. Neha Sagi has played a little bit, but other than that, we're basically playing only 7. And there is a little bit of foul trouble, so people are going to be in tight situations and possibly have to play more minutes than they're accustomed to playing. Burgess tried to hit Kaya Smith. She wasn't ready for it at all, and the ball sailed right past her out of bounds.
And there's just another one of those turnovers that you don't need right now.
Tigers a little out of sync on offense.
That's right.
2:30 left in the first half. 20-6 Cougars. High screen frees up Latham. Latham attacks the basket, but she left it on the floor, and Sydney gratefully picked it up. Now coming the other way, throws it over to Courtney. Courtney back to Burgess. Burgess looking to drive, gives it to Mary Sophia. Then Sydney in the corner. Gets it to Courtney. Courtney thinks about a shot, now tries to post up Kaya Smith. The ball's kicked out of bounds.
But still, they're just not finding the open players inside. It seems like the Cougars are just sealing those lanes, trying to not get anything in there, and just leaving it for the Tigers to pass around the wing.
Courtney shoots a 19-footer, no good. And Jones has the rebound for Goodpasture. They're looking to push forward. Whitworth attacking the basket, layup, good. Tigers couldn't cut off the baseline, and Whitworth converted the layup, and here comes another press. They get it forward through the middle to Mary Sophia. That's nicely done. She attacks the basket, and we're going to get a block on Jones. Mary Sophia did well not to charge there. She tried to maneuver around Jones, and that caused Jones to take an extra step over to the side, which drew the blocking foul call from the official.
She's slow to get up on that one. How much do you need to worry about Mary Sophia as knowing her recent health history?
Well, injuries are pretty random, but Mary Sophia is as tough as they come. If she can be out there, she'll be out there. There's no doubt about that. She buries the first free throw. It's 22-7. Tigers trail by 15. Mary Sophia looks to cut it to 14. She does. 22-8. Goodpasture now working against a bit of pressure. They're struggling a little bit. Time winding down. Could get close to 10 seconds here. Ball's loose, and it's a turnover. Sydney has it. She's attacking all three. But she thinks better of it. Pulls it out. Courtney over to Burgess. Burgess back to Courtney. Can't find Kaya. Now Mary Sophia posts up on the other side. She works against the double team. Kaya from the elbow. No good. Rims out. Ball's loose. Rebound is gathered by Whitworth. Mary Sophia defending all the way. Sprinting from side to side.
Look at Mary Sophia. She's working on every end of the floor.
Kaya Smith fell asleep there. She had no idea that there was anyone near her. And it nearly led to a layup. Instead, it leads to a foul. It's Kaya's second. And Amara Smith promptly reports to the scorer's table where she'll check in. First free throw on the way from Wellful is good. Amara checks in, as do two substitutes for Goodpasture. The clock shows 59.4. We're just under a minute remaining in the first half. 23-8 in favor of the Cougars, now 24-8. The press continues. Burgess throws it back into the middle of Reich. Reich takes a dribble forward, then gives it to Courtney, and the press is broken. Tigers looking to get to the basket. Brooks splits the defenders, but they're going to call her for traveling.
Now, I don't know about that one, Coach. It seems as though she was fouled before the act of traveling, and in that case, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to call a foul, but I guess the refs thought otherwise. I'm
not even convinced that she traveled. She took a very long stride as she attempted to split the defenders, but I didn't see 3 steps.
That's right. It did end up being 2 steps. It just looked elongated.
High screen, Mary Sophia comes over it. Tigers don't switch it. Floyd now with the ball. She gets past Mary Sophia. Over to Wellful. Wellful looking to drive to her right again. Ball's loose, and Mary Sophia has it. We're under a half minute. Burgess has the ball. Coach calls out the play. Goodpasture remains in the zone. Brooks' pass is intercepted. 2-on-1 the other way. King attacks the basket. She's fouled. Burgess with the foul. With 10 seconds remaining in the first half.
Tigers look frustrated here. Their passes continue to be intercepted. The Cougars continue to go on the break, and just getting these fouls and free throws can pile up on you. They're continuously building this lead up. At this point, it's 16, and the Cougars won't stop here.
Turnovers do certainly lead to a lot of frustration, and it's the simplest way to take yourself out of a basketball game. If you give the other team 10, 12 more possessions than you have, really makes your chances quite few to win the game. Tigers now with the ball, down to 5 seconds. Burgess with it, over to Payne. Payne takes 2 dribbles. Can they get a shot off? They do, but it's well short. Couldn't get set up there on the offensive end in the first half. Mercifully comes to a close as the score is your USN Tigers 8 and the Cougars of Goodpasture 25. Itai, what's Coach D going to tell them in there in the locker room?
Hopefully, it's time to just reset their mindsets. The Tigers looking distraught out there almost. They need to know to be calm, but also aggressive at the same time. They need to be focused on what they're doing and play hard out on the court. They're playing good defense for the most part, letting some things go through, but that'll happen regardless. And on offense, basically, all that needs to happen is just get a couple more shots up, and they'll be making it more as the second half goes on, as long as they're calm and collected. And hopefully the Tigers can come back from this league.
As we head into the halftime break, we want to take a moment to thank another one of our sponsors, Gertner and Company. Gertner and Company has been a great friend to USN Broadcasting, and we hope that you'll contact them with all your real estate and property management needs. Gertner and Company, excellence in property management since 1968. We'll be back in 9 minutes with the second half. Halftime has run out, and the second half is about to get underway. It'll be Tiger basketball. And the starting 5 on the floor for USN. Kaya Smith and Amara Payne promptly report to the low blocks in an effort to post up. Trying to get it to Amara. She's got it. Double team comes. Amara throws it over, and they're going to say offensive foul. That's a quick third foul on Amara to start the second half.
Just when the Tigers get some good going, they get that charging call, which I'm not sure if I agree with, but Amara's looking strong, and she's looking hungry for some more baskets.
Floyd throws it forward to Welfel. Welfel gives it back. Goodpasture sets up near half court. Welfel driving to her right, now back to the left. Amara defends her well. Over to Floyd. Floyd back to Welfel. Welfel drives right, gives it to King. King going left, drops it off for Randolph. Mary Sophia with a steal. Ball's loose on the floor. Goodpasture gets it back. Randolph throws it over to Floyd. Floyd with Dawson on her, going right, kicks it out. Welfel pulls up at the foul line, gives it to Floyd. Floyd into the corner, and we've got 3 seconds. Jones was in there too long, and the resulting turnover gives USN the ball back. 20 seconds have elapsed in the third quarter. No score for either side. Score remains 25-8.
But as we do get a chance to look at their press, we see that there's only one player back. So if the Tigers can get something right into the front court, they're going to be able to get a basket.
Long 2 for Olivia Dawson, and the Tigers enter into double figures. 25-10 the score. They put 3 on the board just now, but the official clearly signaled to the table that it was a 2-point shot. Driving the baseline is Welfel. Shot rattles out. Outlet by Payne to Burgess. Burgess attacking now. Can she get to the basket? She cannot. Floyd defended her well, and Burgess committed a foul. That's not a good foul.
Not just a frustration foul right there. Burgess knew she could make that layup, and when she didn't, she just went back straight for the ball and happened to get the foul.
Brooks second. Tigers second in the first minute of the second half. Jones throws it to Floyd. Floyd gives it to Welfel. Welfel looks over to the coach for instructions. She's defended by Amara. High screen. Kick out to King. King swings it over to Randolph. Randolph back to Welfel. Working against Amara. Amara defends her beautifully. Nicely done. King tries to cross over Olivia, and they're going to get Olivia for a foul. That'll be her 4th. Courtney Rabb quickly off the bench, heads to the scorer's table. She'll check in.
That's tough. Just when you want to be strong and aggressive here in this second half, we've got players with foul trouble, and that's going to make them play with more leniency than they would without foul trouble. So that's just going to be tough on the Tigers.
They'll need excellent defense in the second half to win this game. They're certainly not on pace to score 25 points, let alone the fact that Goodpasture is quite likely to score some points of their own in this half. Randolph's 3 is no good. Offensive rebound for Jones. She can't do anything with it. Randolph now tries a 3, no good again. Ball's loose on the floor. Floyd and Payne scramble for it. They call a jump ball before anyone gets hurt. The ball was not really tied up. It was always free, but the official, in the interest of taking care of everyone's well-being, quickly called a jump ball. And possession arrow points to Goodpasture. They throw it into King. King over to Randolph. She's unguarded for a moment, but doesn't shoot. Courtney comes over to play defense. Dribble handoff and a switch. Courtney keeping up the defense on Floyd. High screen. Randolph now tries a 3 off to the left. No good. Rebound's loose. No one boxes out King. She's got the rebound, and she's fouled. She'll shoot 2. Several offensive rebounds in quick succession there for the Cougars.
That's just gonna increase their chances, increase their shot taking, and in the end, they're just gonna get more points from that. That's already the 4th foul. They're giving the Cougars many chances on offense, and that'll hurt them immensely.
2 free throws for King, and the score is now 27-10 in favor of Goodpasture. Coming forward is Burgess, throws it into the corner to Wright. Wright reverses it back. Burgess is rejected by Welfel. She collects the ball herself and brings it back the other way. Long strides into the front court. Pass, dumps it down low, throws it over to Jones. Jones puts up a 5-footer, it's good. The defense collapsed on the free player, freeing up Jones. And she converted. It's 29-10, Goodpasture. Courtney throws it out to Brooke. Mars looking to post up, not there. Mary Sophia banks it in from 17 feet just outside the foul line. And it's 29-12. Tigers now with a bit of pressure, seeing if they can get a couple turnovers. But Welfel's unguarded, and she brings it forward herself without too much trouble at all. Now she drives right. Throws it over to Jones. Jones attacks the baseline. Kicks it out, but throws it too far, and it's a turnover.
The Tigers got to force more of those if they're going to win. In the first half, they lost a lot of balls to turnovers. And if they're going to want to score, they need to get turnovers, get out on the break, and just hold on to the ball here.
We'll see if they can put a run together. Mary Sophia attacks the basket. Layup's no good. Courtney with the rebound. She dribbles out. Gives it to Mary Sophia at the wing. She dribbles into the paint. Left-hander's short. She goes to the floor, and Kaya helps her up, but she's hurt. Tigers commit a foul on the other end. Mary Sophia is struggling to get into the front court.
She looks like she's in pain, still walking, but that's a tough one for someone who has had problems with injuries in the past. You just got to hope for the best, hope she's all right. And she's been looking like she's wanting to score a lot this second half. She wants to take over, and she wants to be the staple of this offense coming forward. And you just got to hope she's okay and 100% moving forward.
It's a veteran senior move. She didn't want to come out of the game despite a little bit of pain, so she turned her back to the bench so that she couldn't show the pain that she was feeling. There was a substitution. Sydney Neal checked in, but not for Mary Sophia. She came in replacing Amara instead. The Tigers have it just over half court. Kaya Smith does well to get rid of it. Burgess tried to force it down to Wright, couldn't get it to her. Mary Sophia is struggling to run the floor right now. Long jumper for Floyd, no good. Sydney Neal has the rebound. It's taken away by King. King dribbles out. Mary Sophia stays with her. They get it back to Randolph near the half-court stripe. Sydney Neal comes out. Randolph dribbles past her. Kicks it out to King. King drives into the lane, puts up a one-hander. It's good. That extends the Goodpasture lead to 21 at 33-12. Tigers break the press. Courtney Rapp's pass to Mary Sophia is intercepted. Courtney deflects it. It's loose, and it falls out of bounds. Last touch by Courtney.
You know, as teammates of Mary Sophia, you really just want to make it easy for her to score. And right now, it's tough for her because they're giving her passes, but not passes to her. They're giving up passes to the Goodpasture Cougars, and she's having no opportunities to score. And Sophia knows she can put it in the basket, but she's going to need some help.
Coach D calls for time with the Tigers trailing 33-12 and 3:47 remaining. She addresses the team with her hands in her pockets, indicative of the frustration I think that she's feeling at this time. Her speech is punctuated by long pauses as she allows her team to contemplate what she's telling them.
And I think she wants to portray the fact that she's cool, the team should be cool. The team should still be calm and just focus on what they need to do and focus on their focal points and how they're going to win this game. Because they're not going to win this game by being mad and have a high temper. That's never going to get it done for you. And so she just wants to make sure they go out there and give it their best ability.
It's always a very difficult balance that must be struck. You cannot play, as you mentioned, with too much emotion, because then you lose your focus on the execution that you must have to play well. But neither must you play with no emotion, because then you have no intensity and no great effort, which is so often needed in the hustle plays that are associated with the game of basketball. Randolph's shot is no good, and Kaya Smith has the rebound. She outlets to Mary Sophia, who swings it over to Brooke. Brooke attacking now, throws it to Courtney in the corner. Courtney tries to give it back, and the pass is deflected out of bounds. Tigers will keep it. And someone will inbound for them. It's going to be Brooke. She receives the ball from the official, who starts a 5 count. Brooke fires it into Courtney, who swings it over to Sydney. Sydney to Brooke in the corner, back to Sydney. Sydney can't find a lane through which to drive. Gets the ball back now, gives it to Courtney. Courtney looks for a lane, looking to drive right, cut off by Floyd. Now Sydney driving with it. Her pass is intercepted by King. Here comes King the other way. Can they trap her? They can't. It's a timeout, Goodpasture. He saw the trap coming. He called for time to prevent the turnover. It's a 30-second timeout. So the Tigers trail 33-12 with 3:05 remaining in the third, and it'll be a 30-second timeout.
What do you do at this point, Coach?
Well, what I hear Coach preaching over there is we can't give up. The girls are frustrated and possibly losing some hope, but no good ever came of losing hope. So we hope that they'll keep their spirits high and use the time that's remaining, even if this game doesn't result in a victory, to see if they can find ways to execute even in the presence of this very tough Cougar defense.
I like what you said there. You know, if the game doesn't end in a win, it doesn't mean that good things did not happen. They can find a lot of great things that they did this game. They can capitalize on a lot of awesome plays, and they can do what they want to in these final minutes and just execute the way they want to. And those are small wins in their own.
That's right. If the Tigers lose this game by 24 points, but close out on an 8-0 run, they'll leave feeling really positive, like perhaps they learned something that they can take with them in future games.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a win. Maybe they go on a run. Maybe they close the gap. Whatever it may be, we want the Tigers feeling good about themselves and feeling good headed into the next game. And who knows? There's still some time left. It's the third quarter. We could be in for a win.
Let's hope to see it. Certainly no shortage of heart for Mary Sophia there. She tied up the loose ball and tried to rip it away. She didn't succeed. Kaya Smith's shot is no good. The ball goes out of bounds. The Tigers will keep it. Mary Sophia fighting again. No quit in that young woman, I can assure you of that. Amara checks in for Kaya. Kaya gets the last instruction from Coach D and heads to the far side of the bench. Sydney comes through, but her pass is intercepted. Sydney has struggled with her passes tonight. Just seeing an option, but throwing it a little bit too late after the defender has an opportunity to close.
A common pattern in this game is that they make it seem as though the post is open, but quickly flash and defend that post to where they can get a quick steal and take it for a fast break, and that's what they did just then.
The foul on Sydney is her second and the team's sixth of the second half. Goodpasture yet to commit a single foul in the second half of basketball. King throws it over to Welfel. She drives the basket and is fouled on the way in, nearly converted the basket as well, but she'll shoot two, with Goodpasture leading 35-12 and 2:09 remaining in the third.
Tigers are in the bonus now, I believe. That's their seventh foul, and it shows a little something that the Tigers have 7 and the Cougars have none. Tigers need to be a little more focused and concerned with what they're doing in terms of defending, and hopefully that'll help them in the future.
Welfel's 2 for 2, and the Cougar lead is 25. We have now a foul on King. Again, that's the first Goodpasture foul of the second half. Brooke calls out the offense and then enters into the offense and hands off the duties of throwing the inbounds pass to Sydney Neal. Sydney looks to throw it into Brooke, and she does. Brooke over to Courtney. Sydney running the baseline. She's got a pass. She's not able to get free for a jump shot. That's usually a situation where she's free to shoot a three-pointer. But that time she was not. The ball got loose on the floor. Mary Sophia tied it up, as did a Goodpasture Cougar, and the possession arrow gives the ball to the Cougars. Tigers continue to press. Brooke does a nice job. It's off her knee, I think. No, they say it's off Brooke. Close call. Excuse me, go ahead, Ty.
Tigers are doing an awesome job hustling still. They're pressuring the inbounds. You see Reif and Rab putting on a full court press and just not giving up. I like to see that.
It all pays dividends down the road. Giving up, you never gain anything down the road. But if you keep working and you keep getting better at executing your offense and executing your defense, that makes you better in later games.
It makes that better.
It's a layup for Goodpasture, and they lead now 39-12. And the Tigers throw it away. Coach Davis turns her head in frustration. Difficult to watch at times. She sends Olivia Dawson to the scorer's table. She'll look to check back in, despite her 4 fouls. Welford working against Mary Sophia. Hands off to Whitworth. Back cut there to King. They threw too high. Sydney Neal with a steal. Can she beat 2 defenders to the basket? She does not, but Courtney Rabb gets the rebound. They say she double dribbled. I don't know that she dribbled even one time. Must not have seen it very well from up here. Dawson checks in for Mary Sophia as we're down to 1:01 left in the third. It's a press defense for the Tigers, or more a full court man-to-man of sorts. But the Tigers in any case retreat quite quickly. Goodpasture has the ball, under a minute left in the half. We'll see what they do with the time that remains. King struggling a bit with the dribble in the corner, then finds a cutting Kyle for a layup. Nice play there, and the Goodpasture supporters are enjoying that one. Burgess comes over a high screen, throws it to Sydney in the corner. Sydney spins left and right, throws it back to Brooke. Brooke over to Courtney. Now Dawson on the baseline attacks, left-hand layup, no good, but she's fouled. Nice job there to attack the basket. She had a good lane. She took advantage of it. And now she'll go to the line, shooting 2. 23.3 remaining in the third quarter. Fouls on Randolph, that is her third.
You know, I think what's ultimately hurting the Tigers in this game is that anytime they're doing something beneficial or something to help them get the lead in this game, it usually is halted by a play like a turnover or a foul that kind of just ends that momentum and gives it the other way. And Goodpasture is taking advantage of that, and everything they're doing is just working towards baskets. So that's tough for the Tigers.
The Tigers have struggled to string together good possessions, but they'll get another chance here. Olivia's second free throw is no good, but the rebound ricocheted out of bounds off a Goodpasture Cougar, and the Tigers have it now. Clock running with 20 seconds. Brooks sprinting to the left, now back to the right. Gives it to Sydney. Amara's looking to post. Can't find her. Sydney launches from deep. No good. Rebound is loose. Amara takes it away. Puts up the shot. No good. But she's fouled. And Amara will go to the line to shoot 2 with 11 seconds even remaining in the third.
And you know, Coach, this is a game of runs, this game of basketball. The Cougars have gone on a great amount of runs, but the Tigers just haven't found their groove yet, haven't found that one point in the game when they've been finding it easy to make baskets, and the lid's been closed tonight. So maybe it's just that. Maybe their runs aren't going for them today.
41-14 Goodpasture. We're under 10 seconds. Wellfull trying to get past Dawson. Dawson defends her nicely and forces her to run off 5 seconds. We're down to 5.9 now. Goodpasture will see if they can get a shot off in the final 5.9 seconds of the third. Wellfull receives the ball from the official. Inbounds over to Latham. Latham brings it forward with the left hand. Spins to the right. Wellfull's guarded all the way by Courtney. Amara steals the ball. They don't get a shot off. Courtney Rabb defended Wellfull there, and I think that's a good matchup for USN. Clearly, Courtney is our best defender, and Wellfull is the best ball handler for Goodpasture. So it's a 27-point deficit for USN, 41-14, with 8 minutes remaining in the game. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, we in USN Broadcasting would like to take a moment to thank another one of our sponsors, Diskin Cider. take a moment to visit Diskin Cidery when they open in March. While you're at that cidery, you can enjoy fresh pressed sparkling juice together with some of their all-natural sodas with no added flavors, sugars, or preservatives. Diskin Cidery opening in March. We hope that you'll be able to see them there. Itai, what do you think as we head into the fourth quarter? What's Coach D going to tell him?
Well, at this point, Coach G is obviously a little upset. How can he not be? But she's a professional, and she's hoping to mold all of these young ladies into professionals too. And so, whether or not they're down 27 or they're down 1 or they have the lead, the Lady Tigers are going to go in this fourth quarter and they're going to give it their all. They're going to play like they would at the tip-off, or they're going to play like they would in the second quarter. They're going to keep playing like they would normally, and they're just going to try to build off that last quarter.
It's the starting 5 on the floor for USN for the first possession of the fourth quarter. Mary Sophia drives and kicks out to Brooke. Brooke attacks the baseline, throws it to Dawson. Dawson from the foul line, rims out. Amara gets a hand on the rebound, and they say it's off Amara, but that's a mistake. I believe that mistake will be corrected, and it is. Coach D sprung quickly to her feet there in an effort to help the official with the necessary correction. But as usual, the word of the coach was not what put it over the top. I believe it was the correction of the other official that had the more important role. They try to throw it into Kaya. They can't get it there. Goodpasture scrambling to save the ball. They can't quite do it. Tigers will keep it. Now, this is not a mercy rule situation, but the clock is running. They have stopped it.
What'd you say there, Coach?
The clock ran for a few seconds while the ball was out of bounds, and it was a dead ball situation. But the deficit is not such that the mercy rule should be invoked and the clock should run in the fourth quarter. Tigers trailing by only 27.
I see. What do they need for the mercy rule?
35. 35 is the margin after which the clock runs for the entirety of the fourth quarter, including in dead ball situations. Amara at the foul line makes the first free throw. 41-15, Goodpasture. Amara receives the ball from the official. A spin, 3 dribbles, another spin, a knee bend, and the free throw is no good. Wellful the rebound. Alex to King. Dossett defending her all the way. King switches from left to right. Now attacking. Throws it down low to Wellful. 2 defenders are there. Kick out to Kyle. Kyle tries to throw it down low. It's intercepted. Mary Sophia steps through. Nicely done. Here come the Tigers the other way. Mary Sophia's looking to go all the way. She lays it in. Timeout, Goodpasture. The coach with great... Oh, the coach is shouting at the official now. He's about to get a technical. He has. He might be about to get a second one. Their coach... At the start of the timeout being called, he was halfway out across the floor. He was nearly over in the bleachers on the other side.
That's just unprofessional right there. Just what you call over the top. Something to get you a technical, that just means you don't do it. Coach should know better than that. Shouting at the ref is just not proper basketball etiquette. Ref knows the game. They've studied the game. They do make calls that sometimes we don't agree with, but in the end, it's in their hands, and we gotta leave it up to them.
Being an official is a hard job. There's no question about that. To have to make all those decisions right in the moment, very difficult. And the officials, I'm sure, are loath to give technical fouls. But that was a situation where the coach was a little bit out of control, I thought.
Yeah, you know, who wants to give a technical foul? You want the game to run as smoothly as possible. And when it's not running smoothly like that, then it's time to get a technical foul.
So there will be 2 free throws upcoming for USN. It's going to be Olivia at the foul line. She stands alone in quiet isolation. 9 other players behind her at the half-court stripe. First free throw is short.
But as she shoots these free throws, let's not discount that Mary Sophia took that coast-to-coast basket and made it on the other side. That was an awesome play, and what I call one of the little wins of this game, something that they can look back on and just point to and show that they did that, and something that they can use to improve in games in the future.
As you said, Itai, we're just looking for something that we can use to get a little bit of positive flow going for future games. And the Tigers have shown no quit here in the fourth quarter. Fighting for every loose ball, attacking the basket, working hard for rebounds. They've done a great job. And that's a credit to the coaching staff and to the players themselves for the kind of people that they are. They trail by 23 with 7:02 remaining. It's a 1-on-1 situation on the loose ball foul, and Kyle will shoot one and the bonus.
And there are at some points, you're outmatched. In this game, I honestly don't think we were outmatched. I think we do have a good enough team. It's just that the ball wasn't going in today. It wasn't the Tigers' day. They were shooting good shots, just not everything happened to go for them, and that'll happen. It's a good team, but the Tigers did do their best tonight.
Kyle goes 2 for 2, and Goodpasture's lead is back to 25 at 43-18. Here comes Dawson. Nice screen from Payne. She gives it to Burgess and gets it back. Now Mary Sophia on the baseline. Defenders swarm around her. She passes to Dawson, over to Burgess. Burgess tries a three. It's too strong. Payne with the rebound, puts it up and in. Nice offensive rebound and putback. They throw it away on the inbounds pass. It's loose, but King gathers it for Goodpasture. She now works into the lane and slows it down, dribbles back out. Gets it over to Kyle. Kyle over to Parks. Parks working against Payne. Payne defending her well. Whitworth attacks the basket, gets past Payne, tries a reverse layup, good, but she traveled. Traveling the call on Whitworth, and it's a turnover. The Tigers get it back. 6:18 remaining in the game. Burgess throws to Dawson. 3 defenders greet her there. She gets it down low to Payne, and Payne's fouled. One official calling for a jump ball. Jump ball is the call. The second official overruled the first. Officials also, just as the Tigers have not been in perfect sync, the officials as well have not been in perfect sync. A lot of calls that needed correcting later on. Jump ball gives the ball to Goodpasture. They have it now in the offensive end. Welfel can't drive the baseline against fine defense from Mary Sophia. King with the ball. Guarded by Dawson. They try a back cut. It's not there. King going left. Payne deflects it and steals. Here they come the other way. 3-on-1. Passes it ahead to Dawson. Dawson's layup is good. Tigers have played a nice fourth quarter here. They score again. The deficit's down to 21.
21-point lead, but still better than 27. Tigers have played well.
They try to lob it in. No one home. Mary Sophia has it. Tigers looking to push. It's a 3-on-3. The numbers aren't there. Brooke kicks it out to Dawson. Dawson tries a long jumper. Well short, and it goes harmlessly out of bounds. 3 substitutes prepare to enter the game. 1 for USN. It'll be Courtney Rabb checking in for Brooke with 5:15 remaining.
The Cougars look tired at this point, I think. They've kept their, what seems to be their staple players in, and they look tired. They've got a 21-point lead, so I expect that they'll start subbing soon.
Shot there from Welfel's long. It goes out of bounds, but it's off of the Tigers, and Goodpasture will keep it. We're down now to 5 minutes even remaining in the game. Floyd to inbound for Goodpasture. They get it into Kyle. Kyle launches a 3, well off the mark, and Kaya Smith has it for USN. Outlet to Courtney. Courtney pushing the tempo forward over to Dawson. Dawson down to Payne in the post. Payne dribbles left, puts it up. She's fouled. Nice aggressive move by Payne there. The double team was coming from the other side. She spun to the left away from it. Got up a shot. It was no good, but she was fouled in the process and will shoot 2.
Like we said, Tigers aren't letting up. Payne's just going to keep doing what she's doing, and the whole team's just going to do the same. They're really not going to do anything different. other than just go harder this fourth quarter because there's all the reason to.
First free throw for Amara spins out, and the score remains 43-22. Amara puts up her second free throw, and it is good. So it's 43-23 in favor of Goodpasture, 4:47 remaining. Randolph brings it up to the left, now switches over to the right, back to the left. Courtney's defending her beautifully. No room for Randolph to go. The defense is outstanding. Goodpasture calls for time to avoid the 5-second call. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Goodpasture's anxious, you know. I'm not sure they're worried about losing, but they're starting to get anxious at this point about what the Tigers are doing and how they're stepping up really hard this fourth quarter.
Everyone stands for this timeout as it's only 30 seconds in duration. Tigers nod as Coach D gives them her instructions. Dabney Moore in particular looking on in earnest. She's seeing her first action of the evening, or afternoon, it's the afternoon. We're down to the final 5 seconds of the timeout. Tigers resume their place on the floor. Goodpasture remains in the huddle, with their coach speaking vigorously to them. They break the huddle and return to the floor. Cougars will inbound. It'll be Kyle. She throws it into Floyd in the backcourt. Floyd has it. Tries to get past Dossett. The defense is out excellent. Handoff to Welfel, gives it back out. Floyd attacks the basket and is fouled by Mary Sophia.
That foul is just a bailout there. I'm not sure if Floyd would have made that runner fouled or not. No need to foul there, but I guess it's just what happened.
She had a step, and Mary Sophia did well to take away a chance at a free layup. First free throw for Floyd is good. 44-23 Goodpasture. Second free throw, good as well. Goodpasture has shot excellently from the foul line tonight. I don't have the percentage, but I'd bet it's comfortably over 80%.
I'm sure they're practicing that shot a lot.
Dabney launches from the baseline, no good. Courtney Rabb with a rebound. She puts it back up and is blocked by Jones. Gets the rebound back to Dossett. Dossett from just beyond the foul line, no good. Rebound is loose again. Courtney's trying to tie it up. She does. That'll be Tiger ball on the alternate possession. 45-23 in favor of the Cougars. Dossett looking to fire it in, gets it into paint, working against a double team, scores anyway. Nicely done there from Amara. And that makes it 45-25. We're inside the halfway mark remaining in the fourth quarter. Floyd working against Dossett. Gets it to Welfel in the corner. They switch positions. Welfel spins from one side to the other, then tries to hand off to Floyd. She does. Floyd looking to cross over Olivia. Olivia doesn't let her do it. And we've got a travel. So the Tigers get it back. Tigers not giving up in the least. Wonderful thing to see. Dossett nearly had it poked away. Dabney picks it up for her. Dabney's in some trouble. Coach D's calling for time. She doesn't get the timeout, but they get away with it. Courtney fires a three, short. Olivia has the rebound. Trying to get it to Mary Sophia. She does. Layup is good. It rolls around and in. She's fouled as well. The deficit's down to 18, 45-27, and Mary Sophia will try to cut it to 17.
I love to see him hustling on the glass. Reboundings will get you those second chance opportunities, and it just goes to show there with Mary Sophia hitting that and one layup.
This is great heart. Great heart shown by the Tigers, and you love to see it.
And look at that, Mary Sophia, she seemed like she had an injury. Hard to get up and start running, but still, she's going at it.
45-28 Goodpasture. We're down to 3 minutes, and it's another travel. Tigers look completely invigorated. Goodpasture now feeling a little bit of pressure. They might be worried about the outcome of this game. They're starting to press. Payne throws it into Rab, back to Payne. They break the press. Dabney has it. She's looking to give it to Dawson. She does. Wellful defends her. Payne in the post. Left-hander, too strong. We've got a foul on the rebound. It's going to be on USN. It's going to be on Mary Sophia. That'll be her 4th foul. So she's in a little bit of danger with 2:51 remaining. It'll be Randolph shooting 2 now. It's a double bonus situation. She'll shoot 2 for the Cougars.
Still, though, relatively, the Tigers are possessing the ball very well this half. They're giving up less turnovers. They're forcing more turnovers, especially with travels from the Cougars. And they're just doing well passing the ball and getting up good shots.
They've done well penetrating off the dribble, and also their entry passes to the post have been far more successful than they were in the first half. Dabney tries from the baseline. It's good. 45-30. Cougars get it into Floyd. Floyd works it up the right sideline. Now slows it down. Olivia tries to tie her up. She does. Jump ball. Goodpasture will keep it. 2 Tigers are at the scorer's table looking to check in. It's Brooke Burgess and Kaya Smith. They check in for Dabney and Amara.
This is fun, Coach. The Tigers are ready. We kept saying it. The Tigers are just hungry and they're ready.
It's a great thing to see, and it's a turnover. The Tigers get it back. A brief souvenir for the young children over in the corner. One of them hands it to the official, and the official gives him a high five. That's awesome. He's fired up. Look at him jumping around over there. Great day for the young man.
Helping the team.
Dawson gets out of the trap. Gets it to Burgess. Burgess to Courtney. Gets it back. They get it to Kai in the post. Kai with the left hand. No good. Mary Sophia fights for the rebound but can't get it. Kyle has it for Goodpasture. 2:10 remaining. Here comes Randolph forward. Courtney's playing excellent defense. Hand off to Wellful. Wellful drives to the right. Kicks it out to Floyd. Floyd with Dawson on her. Over to Kyle. Kyle kicks out to Randolph. Over to Owens. Owens with a 15-footer from the baseline. Perfect. That makes it 47-30. Dawson to Burgess. Burgess crosses over, lost the handle, and it's taken away by Wellful. Cougars looking to slow it down a little bit, perhaps. Wellful spins about, gives it to Randolph. Courtney's with her, and the 5 count is on. She attacks the basket, kicks out to Floyd. Floyd over to Kyle. Kyle dribbling to the left, over to Owens. Tries an identical shot to the one before, but the result is not identical. It comes out. Offensive rebound, and Kyle buries a 3. And just like that, Goodpasture's lead is back to 20 at 50-30.
Yeah, they seemed like they gave up for a minute, but they got right back into it. It looked like the Tigers were looking to come back, but then it's just back to 20. I don't know about that push. I'm not sure Mary Sophia did anything really intentional. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
She's quite unhappy indeed with the call. It is her 5th foul, but 3 Tigers were at the scorer's table already. I think that she might have been on her way out. Tigers now are down to 5 players on the floor, which is the requisite number. And Kyle will shoot 2 free throws for Goodpasture with exactly 1 minute remaining in the game. First free throw is good. It's a 21-point lead now, 51-30. Second free throw is good as well. The free throw shooting for the Cougars remains immaculate. And it's 52-30. Tigers call out a play. The players move swiftly into motion over to the right side. Dawson dribbles up the left side. Gets it to Sydney in the corner. Sydney tries the 3. It's going to be off the side of the backboard. Kaya ties up the rebound, and the Tigers have the alternate possession. Dawson gathers the ball from the official, inbounds to Kaya, gets it back, dribbles out to the 3-point line. She's free, doesn't shoot it, gets it to Sydney. Sydney shoots a long 2. It is good. 52-32, 34 seconds remaining. Latham brings it forward against Sydney Neal, over to Parks. Parks swings it over to Winders. She's seeing her first action. They try to throw it down to her. Naya takes it away and she's fouled. So it'll be a one-on-one situation. She'll go to the line. Fouls on Whitworth.
You know, I thought this game was just going to be dribbled out, but it just goes to show that the Tigers' passion, you know, it stays with them the entire game. They just got that steal. She did miss the free throw, but they're going to be with you the entire game.
It's a 32-minute game, and the Tigers have played all 32. We're down to 10 seconds. Goodpasture's trying to get a layup. It's blocked by Smith. They call a foul.
I'm not sure why they're shooting with this little time left in this lead.
Yeah, they certainly could have dribbled it out with ease. The Tigers were not looking to foul there. 6 seconds left. Froelich at the line for Goodpasture, where she'll shoot 2. First one rattles in. 53-32 Goodpasture in the waning seconds of this contest. Second free throw is short. Rebound is fought for. Kaya has it. Clock running with 5. She gets it to Olivia now with 3, 2, 1. Olivia shoots a 3 at the buzzer. It's no good. And this game comes to a close. The final score in this girls' contest, Goodpasture Cougars 53, USN 32. Itai, any final thoughts on this one?
This one is what I call a second half game, or more perfectly a fourth quarter game. The Tigers really showed up to play in the fourth quarter. They looked good. Had the game just been the fourth quarter, it would have been much closer on the scoreboard. But the scoreboard doesn't tell the entire truth about the Tigers. They were down by a lot, as much as 27 at one point, and it didn't end up being that way exactly, as the Tigers were able to come back at some points, get to as low as 15 points, and the Tigers just kept fighting. So in the end, it's a good game for them. They did find a lot to take away from this game, and they should be happy with themselves.
Hopefully a lot of positive things for this team going forward. It's been our pleasure to bring this game to you. Please stay with us during the interim. It'll be about 20 minutes, I believe, before the boys' game starts. And we'll have that action for you in about 20 minutes. So we'll see you then.
Thanks so much, guys. Shout out to
observing the rules of fair play, everyone is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship. And now the starters for this afternoon's game. First, for Goodpasture, number 12, Nate Musgrave. Number 14, Gray Phillips. Number 15, Taylor Tinnen. Number 24, Trip McKendry. And number 25, Hammond Turner.
Just dad and then did this. What? Dad and did this.
And now the starters for your USN Tigers. At guard, a junior, number 4, Connell Gorman. At guard, a senior, number 12, Quinn Wheelock. And for number 13, a junior, George Corzine. At guard, senior number 22, Drew Dibble. And for the sophomore number 33, Graham Elliott.
Pleasure to join you from the Tiger Den. I'm Jackson Jaffe. Alongside me in the booth, Eli Horton, bringing you an afternoon of Tiger basketball. Eli, what do you think are the keys to the Tigers' success if they hope to beat Goodpasture, who's posted an undefeated district record so far?
Hey, Jackson. Great to be here. First time out. I think we're going to need to dominate the paint as we have in most of our games and results and wins. So we're going to get to George down low. And of course, we need Quinn from the outside as well.
So, tip-off awaits. And Tigers get the opening tip. Drew Dibble on the tip. Dibble passes left side to Gorman. Back to Dibble. Dibble inside Corzine. Corzine, Dibble. Back to Gorman. Wheelock open. And he goes, swings it. Good ball movement so far for the Tigers. Wheelock, Dibble, three-pointer. No good. Rebound by number 15, Taylor Tinnen. Number 12, Nate Musgrave brings the ball up the court. And a foul, I believe, before the shot. It's going to be on George Corzine, his first, team's first.
Well, only one possession so far, but I like what I've seen so far from our Tigers down there. Good ball movement, as you say.
So Trip McKeithen will go to the line. He converts his first free throw. At the line for the second. And that one is good. Tigers now with possession. Dibble directing traffic. Passes to Gorman, back to Dibble. Back to Gorman again. Dibble open. Corzine, nice passing in the opening quarter. As Dibble doesn't like the shot. Gets it to Wheelock. No shot. And Corzine takes the floater, and that's good to get the Tigers on the board. Gray Phillips bringing the ball up the court. He passes to Musgrave. Trip McKeithen. Back to Phillips. Phillips to McKeithen. And Phillips will set up the Goodpasture offense. Inside, he finds number 15, Taylor Tinnen, for 2 points. Dibble bringing the ball up the court. Goodpasture pressuring so far, but the Tigers doing well, making a lot of passes to get out of those trap situations. Dibble, he'll attempt a three, and that's good, giving the Tigers their first lead of the night, 5-4.
What is Goodpasture's mascot?
So Gray Phillips brings the ball up the court. Inside, number 15, Taylor Tinnen gets the bucket. An offensive first couple of minutes, 5-6.
Can you confirm?
And a steal. Gorman almost got it back. Phillips puts it up. No. Rebound, Connell Gorman. Gorman brings the ball up the court. Pass to Corzine. Corzine, dribble move, floater, no good. And I believe they're going to call a travel here on Trip McKeaton. That'll be his first foul, but will not count against the team. So Tigers will take over, down 1 with 5:25 remaining here in the first quarter. Dibble inbounds to Christy Mizell, who checks in for George Corzine. And Greenfield outside Mizell. That's no good. Rebound by Goodpasture. Phillips, he hesitates. Passes to number 20, who's just checked in, Carson Woosley. Phillips running the offense. He passes inside, number 24, McKeaton. Phillips back outside. And a travel on Gray Phillips.
This is a strong Goodpasture squad we're facing this year, isn't it, John?
Again, yes, Eli, they're 7-0 and have some impressive wins over BGA and I believe CPA as well. So, and obviously coached by former Tigers coach, Coach Saul. So it's interesting to see him matched up against his successor, as Graham Elliott will convert on the bucket to give the Tigers the lead. So Cougars ball, McKeaton for a deep 3. That's no good, and I'm not sure what the call was right there. I think the ball went out of bounds. It'll be Tigers ball, 7-6. Mizell bringing it up the court. And a travel called on William Christie Mizell. And a timeout here by the Tigers. During the break, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Gertner & Co. Excellence in property management since 1968. 50 years, Eli. A lot of excellence in property management.
We've seen some Gertners going to this fine institution, haven't we?
We have Margot and Jonathan being the ones that I know, and also Ryan, who was with us for, I believe, 2 years. Nice to have a good business from a great family. So during the break, the Tigers will hope to build on their momentum. They've played a good half quarter of basketball so far, leading Goodpasture, who again is undefeated in the division, by a score of 7-6. Tigers coming out of the timeout with Dibble, Mizell, Wheelock, Greenfield, and Elliott on the floor. Goodpasture will throw in. And that's a pass to Hunter Scarlock, who checks in for the Cougars. And Phillips still in the game. He's played the entire game so far. Passes to Woosley. Back to Woosley. He passes inside. That's a 2-point shot by number 22, Cole Dotson, giving the Cougars their lead. Mizell. And the errant throw out on Quinn Wheelock is going to give the Cougars possession again. Again, Eli, we're seeing the Cougars trap and play some full court press, which has been somewhat effective. Tigers have not been able to get out of it all the time. So the Tigers get the steal, and Dibble now will take the 3, and that's good. 10. He is 10-8 Tigers. 3:08 remaining here in the first. Phillips drives right. That's McKeaton. Passes to Woosley. He goes inside and I believe draws the foul on Graham Elliott. That'll be the team's second foul, Graham Elliott's first of the quarter. So Woosley to the line for 2. And the first free throw is good. Woosley waiting for his second free throw attempt. And that one gets nothing but net. Dibble will throw in. Full court press, passes to Wheelock. Dibble finds Mizell. Mizell, Wheelock, back to Dibble, wants the shot, doesn't take it. He goes inside to Greenfield. Greenfield outside Wheelock. Wheelock drives, passes outside. Dibble, three-point attempt is good. Drew Dibble is hot in the first quarter with another three-point shot going down. Gray Phillips will take the ball up the court, guarded closely by Drew Dibble. Passes right, that's Scarlock, back to Phillips. Phillips, Scarlock. And that's inside. Cole Dotson can't find. He finally finds Scarlock. Scarlock outside. Woosley. Woosley drives and a push called on the Tigers.
Yeah, fortunate for the Tigers that those deep threes from Dibble are falling as well. And those are falling, it could be a long game.
Indeed, Eli, and Dibble has converted on a lot of three-pointers here in this first quarter alone. So Goodpasture will throw in after the push on Graham Elliott. They pass in to Will Deering. Number 0, P.J. Smith. At the top of the key, he passes to Scarlock. Scarlock drives. Passes number 33, Joel Littlepage. Back to P.J. Smith. Littlepage. Passes to Jacob Merle. Back to Littlepage. Scarlock drives. And he converts. And Eli, one thing I'm noticing early is the deep bench of the Cougars. They have a new fresh five on the floor, and they're still playing at the level of their starters.
Yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of
Dibble attempts the three. That's no good. Rebound by Jacob Murrell. He almost loses it, but it goes outside to Littlepage for three. That's no good. Dibble rebound. Just about a minute left in the first quarter as Dibble is going to be fouled. Dibble fouled by Scarlock. That'll be the first team foul of the game for this highly disciplined Cougar defense. Again, one foul through a quarter is not an easy feat.
I'm sure that's been a great contributor to their success this season for the Cougars going to the bench.
And that one's going to be off on Littlepage. So Tigers will throw it in. Wheelock standing on the baseline. Passes to Mizell. Mizell trapped quickly. He tries to dribble out of it, almost loses it, but gets it to Dibble. Back, and errant pass. Littlepage steals. He finally takes the jump shot. That's no good. Mizell with a nice rebound in traffic. Just 40 seconds remaining. Dibble passes to Mizell. Mizell tries to find Kleiner. He doesn't get it, but it's going to be out of bounds on the Cougars, so the Tigers will get the throw-in.
Looks like number 3 Scarlock is out there. He's trying to get his hands on the ball, trying to poke that out. Gotta watch out for that.
So Wheelock will now attempt the three. That's no good, and Greenfield saves it. Nice play. Dibble, three-point shot. In and out. Cougars pushing the ball up the court. Scarlock running the offense. Passes to P.J. Smith. Smith back to Scarlock. Over to Littlepage. Littlepage back to Smith. Smith drives. Passes. Beautiful pass to number 13, Will Deering. Cutting the Tigers' lead to just one. And as the seconds wind down, Drew Dibble's three-pointer does not go. And, excuse me, it's actually a one-point Cougar lead as we'll go into the break. Eli, your thoughts on how that first quarter went for the Tigers?
I think they're hanging real well with this strong Cougar team. Looks like we moved the ball around really well. Despite that football press the Cougars have been bringing, it's been a pretty strong showing for the Tigers thus far.
Yeah, the Tigers down just 1 point to, again, the division leaders who are 7-0. During the break, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Steve Gorman Sports on Fox Sports Radio. Please listen Monday through Friday on the iHeartRadio app from 5 to 7 p.m. And Eli, knowing from your encounters with Mr. Gorman, he's a great guy, isn't he?
Real stand-up guy. I've known him since I was out there supporting.
So we'll come out of the quarter. Tigers down by 1. As Coach Jones utters inspiring words to the fellow Tiger basketball players. Corzine, Wheelock, Greenfield, Dibble, and Mizell on the court as P.J. Smith will take it up. Smith passes to Little Page. Little Page inside and 1. A nice play by Amon Turner, who checks back into the game. Opportunity to stretch this Goodpasture lead to 4. Turner to the line for the 1-and-1. And that's good. 4-point Goodpasture lead. Mizell pressed. He drives. Nice dribble move. And Dibble doesn't take it. Mizell, as Goodpasture does a great job, but Mizell does better and gets inside for 2. They pressured him on the outside, so he split them and went in for the nice finish. Musgrave up the court, passes to Little Page. Little Page back to P.J. Smith. He doesn't like the look. Little Page back to number 13, Will Deering. Now Musgrave has it at the top. Little Page for 3, no. And Greenfield comes away with the rebound. Dibble bringing the ball up the court. Dibble calling out the offense. He's quickly double teamed and nonetheless finds Corzine. Corzine outside, Wheelock, 3, no. Rebound by number 25, Amon Turner. Cougars pushing the ball up the court. And they'll find Little Page. Wide open Musgrave. 3. Good. Stretches Goodpasture's lead to their largest of the night, 5 points, leading 20-15 with about 6:25 left here in the second quarter.
We saw that drive by Christian Mizell a few possessions ago. That's going to be crucial if the Tigers want to keep up with this fast-paced Cougar offense.
Mizell's three-pointer is off. And Cougars bring the ball up the court. Smith. No. Rebound, and there's Musgrave, another three-pointer, and that's good. He hits his second straight three-pointer. And a timeout here called. I believe Goodpasture took the timeout.
Can't help but notice a strong Goodpasture showing from the fans on today. This is the third of 3, I guess, games for Goodpasture today. We saw last night the strong Tiger pride. Really rocking the house.
Indeed. Yesterday was homecoming. Tigers defeated Mount Juliet Christian Academy in a somewhat close game. The boys did. The girls won by a score of 60-20 in more dominant fashion, but nonetheless a great night of homecoming festivities after a great student-faculty game where students unfortunately lost despite the tutelage of head coach Tyler Jacobs and his dutiful assistant Eli Horton. So the Tigers will bring the ball up. Dibble, he passes to Greenfield. Greenfield over to Mizell. Mizell trapped. And he gets it back to Dibble. Mizell. He goes inside for Corzine. Back to Mizell. Mizell, that's off. Intended for Quinn Wheelock. Another turnover for the Tigers offense. Down by 8. Goodpasture bringing the ball up. That's number 14, Gray Phillips, running the point. Phillips. He looks inside, finds Easton, and finally Musgrave finishes on the pass from McKeaton. Greenfield brings the ball up the court. Gorman back to Dibble. Dibble doesn't like the 3, but Gorman finds Mizell. A beautiful inside pass. Mizell with a nice cut to the basket to cut this lead back down to 8. Cougars bring the ball up the court. Goodpasture's coach calling out plays from far down the left side of the bench to Gray Phillips. He passes to McKeaton. McKeaton back to Musgrave. McKeaton drives. Step back. No. Mizell comes away with it. Rebound. Dibble pushing the ball up the court. Dibble calls out the offense, wanting space. He passes to Gorman. Back to Dibble. Back to Mizell. And Dibble takes a long three-pointer, and that's going to drop, cutting the Goodpasture lead to just 5. So here's Gray Phillips bringing the ball up the court. He passes to McKeaton. McKeaton over to Turner. Back to Musgrave. Back to Phillips. Phillips takes the lefty three-pointer, and that's off. Foul on number 15, Taylor Tinnen, as 3 new players will come in for the Cougars. Dibble bringing the ball on the baseline. He passes into Mizell. Mizell dribbles, finds Corzine. Corzine back to Greenfield. Greenfield over to Dibble. Dibble, Wheelock, back to Dibble. Dibble, Mizell. Mizell hesitates, and that's off the leg of number 3, Hunter Scarlock, a kickball violation. So this will stay with the Tigers. Wheelock throwing a ball in. He finds an open Mizell. Dibble open on the left side. Corzine. He finds Mizell. Again, just a 5-point Cougar lead. Mizell quickly doubled. And Dibble comes away with it. Back to Mizell. Mizell. He wants a deep 2. He doesn't have it. Rebound by McKeaton. Up the court, Phillips. Phillips. And that's a deep 3-pointer for Trip McKeaton, displaying his range.
You know, despite this deficit, I've been impressed with the Tigers' shot selection. They've been holding the ball really well, moving it around, finding that open shot.
Wheelock with a fantastic move to stay inside. Finally gets it down to Corzine, who finishes for 2. Gray Phillips driving the ball up the court. He looks, he's got Scarlock. Scarlock, McKeaton wants the 3, doesn't take it. Now it's over back to Phillips. Phillips driving, nothing there. Scarlock, 3-point attempts. That's way off. So Dibble will corral the rebound. 6-point lead for the Cougars, 22-28 with about 2:15 left in the second period. Quarter, excuse me. And Dibble inside Greenfield. He wants Corzine. A risky pass, but there is going to be a push called here, I believe, on Trip McKeaton, who hit the 3-pointer on a couple possessions ago.
Again, only 1 team foul for the Cougars with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Tigers closing in on 5 with 4.
So 2:06 remaining here in the second quarter. Dibble throws the ball into Corzine. Back to Mizell. He has somewhat of an open path, and he's closed in on but fouled. So he'll go to the line for 2 points.
Just like that, 3 team fouls for the Cougars. They only had 1 mere seconds ago.
Mizell to the line. Cries from the Goodpasture student section. Do not distract William Christie Mizell as he sinks the first one. During the break, we'd like to thank some of our behind-the-scenes actors, including the lovely Matthew Schwartz, who's volunteered to do some of the filming as Corzine doesn't get it to go. And again, Matthew is a star soccer player who graciously devoted some of his off-season time to come out in video, so we thank him. And always thankful for Joe Orum's contributions setting this whole thing up. It would not be possible without Mr. Orum. So Goodpasture is going to come up with a miss. but Little Page will bring it in. Here's Phillips. Phillips back to Little Page. Little Page over to Phillips. McKeaton. He doesn't take anything. He finally takes one, and that rolls his way. 7-point lead for Goodpasture. Mizell, about 1:10 left in the first half. And that's Corzine finishing strong. Phillips bringing the ball up the court. Under a minute left to play. Little Page. Outside McKeaton takes a deep three. No. Mizell goes up high to get it. Mizell. He's looking for Dibble, doesn't find him. Finally gets Wheelock. Back to Dibble. Dibble quickly double teamed. Passes to Mizell, who has the ball swatted out of his hands. It's going to be out in Goodpasture.
Yeah, be closer to the mic.
Hey, it's not synced.
It's never synced.
No, it's annoying. So Dibble will bring the ball up the court here.
Maybe talk louder or something.
About 20 seconds left. Looks like the Tigers are going to hold for the last shot here. Dibble passes over to Wheelock. Wheelock back to Dibble. Mizell. Greenfield. He posts up, looks outside. No. And a steal there at the end by William Christie Mizell, but to no avail. We'll go into halftime with the Tigers down 5 against Goodpasture, a score of 30-25. So Eli, we saw a good quarter of basketball from them. They're still within striking range of coming back and getting back into this game. So, Eli, how do you think the Tigers can get into the lead here and improve their overall play?
Well, there have been times when jumpers just haven't been falling for the Tigers. We've seen spurts of when they've been moving into the lane and they're able to get those shots up, and that's what the key is for the Tigers in this one.
Indeed. So we'll take a break for halftime. Again, Tigers losing 25-30. I'm Jackson Jaffe. Alongside me in the booth, Eli Horton. We'll be back in about 10 minutes to bring you more Tiger basketball. So Jackson Joffe and Eli Horton here back after the break. Starting the second half of Tiger basketball. Tigers losing by a score of 30-25, but hung in there with the first in the division Cougars. Tigers will throw it in. Dibble calling out the offense. Appears to be Tiger. Passes to Elliott. Elliott inside. Corzine, quick 2 points to get on the board for the Tigers. Bringing it up the court is Gray Phillips. Phillips, he doesn't get anything. Passes to Turner. Turner back to Musgrave. Musgrave, 4-3. That's good. Building off a first half in which he had 8 points. He's clearly not letting his foot off the gas pedal. Wheelock, he's trapped, but he drives ferociously up the court. Gets it back to Dibble. 4-3. No. Mizell can't come away with the rebound. That's Turner with the board. McKeaton, 4-3. That's good. Another three-pointer. 2 3-pointers to start this one. Mizell gets the inbound pass. Corzine, that was bobbled, but he gets it back to Dibble. Dibble. Corzine with the pick. Dibble for the deep 2. That's good. So the Tigers answer a Cougar 3 with a 2 of their own to cut the lead to 7. Phillips. Back to McKeaton. Over to Turner. Back to Phillips. Phillips drives. Misses. Rebound, Mizell. Mizell up the court to Dibble. Dibble setting up the offense. Back to Mizell. Mizell finally finds Graham Elliott. Elliott, Corzine. Dibble, 4-3. That's good to cut the lead to 4 points. Gray Phillips will bring the ball up the court for the Cougars. Over to Turner. Turner to McKeaton. McKeaton drives, and Dibble is going to be called for the blocking foul. His first of the quarter, team's first of the half.
Tigers going to have to keep an eye on Musgrave and McKeaton. They're sharpshooters who have brought them an onslaught of points in this first half.
That's Turner inside. He loses the ball. Dibble with a nice hustle to get the jump ball. It's going to stay. Excuse me. Yes, it's going to stay with the Cougars on the jump ball by virtue of alternating possession. McKeaton drives. He's contested. Gets his own board. He gets the rebound. Puts it back up. Ferocious moves there by Trip McKeaton. Mizell brings the ball up the court. He goes to Corzine. Corzine drives, floats it. No. Rebound by number 15, Taylor Timmon. Phillips drives. McKeaton inside. Can't finish. Rebound, Corzine. Dibble pushing the ball up the court. Elliott open. Inside, Corzine. Wheelock open in the corner, and he fakes him out and drives in, and he's going to be swatted. That's out on Wheelock, who tried to fake him out. He got the first defender to bite, but the second one didn't fall for it, and he got stuffed on the layup attempt and kicked it out of bounds. So it's going to be Cougar ball, up by 6 with about 4:50 remaining here in the third quarter. Phillips to McKeaton. McKeaton wants the 3, doesn't take it. Pass back to Phillips. Dribbles off the foot of Mr. Drew Dibble.
Cougars have been on a pretty solid run in this second half so far, but Tigers holding their own, only down by 6.
Pass outside to Trip McKeaton. Phillips. He goes to Woosley. Woosley back to Phillips, to McKeaton. McKeaton to Phillips. Phillips drives, pass to Woosley. Inside. Scarlock will score his 4th point of the game. And Tigers will throw it in. That's Mizell back to Dibble. Corzine. Passes to Elliott. Elliott. Back to Corzine. Mizell, he drives. And jump ball called. Gonna stay. You know, I don't think I agree to that call.
I tell you what, though, I would not want to run into that ref in the parking lot after this game. That is a big man down there.
That ref has clearly been taking tips from William in the fitness center.
That's right.
As Dibble misses that three-pointer rather badly. Scarlock bringing the ball up the court. Here's McKeaton. McKeaton gives it to Phillips. Back to Woosley. Inside. And number 22 misses and gets his own rebound. That's Cole Dotson. So here's Dibble. Dibble passes to Mizell. Goes back to Dibble. Inside. Corzine over to Mizell. Back to Corzine. Corzine attempts off the mark. Rebound.
I'm watching the screen. I wonder if that's a good idea. Should I watch the screen?
You know, speaking of William in the fitness center, I'm sure you can back me up on this, Jaffe. The Tigers, you can't question their heart and their dedication. You know, over the off season, they've been down there, training a lot, getting bigger, getting faster, getting stronger. So you know that they're went into this season with a lot of athletic prowess, you might say.
Hopefully the soccer team can follow in their footsteps.
That's right.
So McKeaton is going to be called for the travel. Goodpasture's lead is now 10, but the Tigers will take over. About 2:47 left in the third quarter. McKeaton's second foul. Team's first. Dibble. Scarlock jumping high. Greenfield, nice pass to Graham Elliott, who draws the foul. The and one, and Goodpasture usually great about being smart with their fouls. They commit one there, and Graham Elliott has a chance to cut the Goodpasture lead to just 7. Elliott, nothing but net. So Gray Phillips brings the ball up the court. Passes to Scarlock. Scarlock over to McKeaton. Back to Gray Phillips. Scarlock. Passes to Dotson. Back to Woosley. Inside. Scarlock. Outside McKeaton for 3. No. Rebound George Corzine. Drew Dibble pushing the ball up the court. Dibble, he's pressured by Scarlock. He goes to Mizell. Mizell over to Dibble. Dibble passes to Corzine, who converts on the layup. So Goodpasture will throw it in. And that's Gray Phillips bringing the ball up the court. He's looking, setting up the offense. He passes over to McKeaton, who drains the three-point shot. So the Tigers cut the lead to 5, but the Cougars answer with a three-pointer, and they'll stretch their lead back to 8. So Eli, we've seen the Cougars come out strong. They've hit a lot of three-pointers in this quarter. McKeaton, Musgrave have been on fire from downtown, continuing to build off that great first half. You got to be thinking perimeter defense is your number one concern, but are there any other areas that the Tigers should focus on the defensive side?
Yeah, Musgrave and McKeaton, those ones are really hurting the Tigers on defense. But you can't sleep on the fact that the Tigers are making a solid run of their own. They're keeping pace with the Cougars, but as far as their defensive front, you got to see on the perimeter, and I honestly think that's the biggest part for them right now. If they can do that, they can cut this lead.
Well, and again, it's also difficult to do that because you have such a height advantage on Goodpasture's side, so it's tough to devote all of that defensive strength to the perimeter because you could give up some points on the inside. So just one of the many trade-offs that the Tigers faced, as your economics teacher would tell you. So Goodpasture and USN will come out of the timeout. Score 45-37. Goodpasture leading. 1:24 left in the third quarter. Tigers hoping to get a little bit more of a defensive hold on Goodpasture, having somewhat kept pace with them offensively. They're within single digits. Dibble trapped, double team. He gets to Mizell, battling the 8-second call. Inside Corzine, that's going to be called out. So Goodpasture will throw it in. Scarlock inbounds, and he gets the ball back. Scarlock passes over to Musgrave. Musgrave passes over to Tinnin. Back to Musgrave. Over to Scarlock. And he missed that one badly. No student section to give the airball chant there, but not the best shot from Scarlock. But nonetheless, his team is leading by 8. But the Tigers will take over, hoping to cut that 8-point lead with under a minute left to play here in the third quarter.
And that's another intangible the Tigers could really use right now. That student section rocking out.
So Musgrave is going to hit the three-pointer right there to stretch this lead back to double digits because the Tigers couldn't get the ball up the court. Dibble passes over to Mizell. And Greenfield outside. Elliott. Dibble. He doesn't take anything. Outside Elliott. Passes to Corzine. Corzine outside Dibble. Back to Corzine. Corzine back to Dibble. He puts up the 3, and that's in and out. So the Tigers surrendering a third quarter run to Goodpasture. After cutting the lead down to 5, Goodpasture hit 2 threes to stretch the lead to 11. During the break, we'd like to thank another one of our sponsors, Diskin Cider. Be sure to visit the Diskin Cider reopening in March. You can enjoy the cider menu while drinking fresh, pressed sparkling juice or locally made sodas with no added sugars, flavorings, or concentrates. Isn't that dandy, Eli?
That is, you know, you and I have both been in the Diskin household. You know, their father, you know, he's a big part of their delicious cider.
But a Seahawks fan, sadly.
Very sad.
What do you think Coach Jones is talking about in the huddle right now for the Tigers?
I mean, their jumpers aren't falling for him right now, so I gotta say, maybe tell him to work it inside a little bit more. I feel like this third quarter, it was a fast third quarter for sure, but they weren't finding those open looks as they were, and I wasn't in love with their shot selection as well. So we'll see how they can fix that in the fourth quarter.
So the Tigers will come out of the timeout here to start the fourth quarter. Again, an 11-point deficit. Not the biggest deficit, but he also wouldn't like to be in this situation. P.J. Smith will take the ball up the court. P.J. Smith back to Musgrave. Musgrave off the mark. Rebound Dibble. Dibble calling out the play, Cyclone. And Greenfield comes away with the snag. He passes out to Dibble, who's pretty blatantly fouled by P.J. Smith. Not sure what the call is here, but I know it's going to be on Goodpasture. Wheelock checks in for Will Greenfield. Dibble calling out Cyclone once more. Passes to Corzine. Passes back Dibble. And Dibble, that pass is tipped by Musgrave. Great hustle there. And that's one thing we've seen from this Goodpasture defense. They play tenacious defense, always hustling, great footwork. And I think the Tigers have struggled with that somewhat on the defensive side. Graham Elliott, outside to Corzine, back to Wheelock. Corzine, back to Wheelock, back to Dibble. Dibble, and he's pressured. There's an open man, and it is Dibble, who's somewhat open, but it doesn't matter how open he is because he sent that three to cut the lead to 8 with 6:35 remaining here in the fourth. P.J. Smith bringing the ball up the court for Goodpasture. Over to Musgrave. Back to P.J. Smith. Smith driving. Pass to McKeaton. McKeaton, step back, jump shot. No good. Rebound by Graham Elliott. Dibble bringing the ball up the court for the Tigers. Dibble, pass to Corzine. Corzine. He goes to Wheelock. Wheelock drives, and he does a nice job drawing the foul there. And again, on a team that's really been great with fouls, it's actually been USN who's committed less fouls this period. Just 1 in the entire second half. Goodpasture having committed 4. Wheelock, a nice job drawing the foul there.
Yeah, we saw Wheelock get blocked earlier in the game, so I don't like him as much going up for those layups over defenders, but drawing contact and getting the line is for sure a good thing for the Tigers.
Right, you've got a tall Goodpasture defense that has done a great job protecting the rim and forced the Tigers to go outside on a lot of their shots. So, Eli, 6:01 left. We've still got a ball game on our hands. It's an 8-point game, and you're thinking that Drew Dibble needs to be open for some more threes, right?
That's for sure. 2 players I know we're going to see a lot of are, of course, George Corzine and Drew Dibble. You know, those players, they can't be phased mentally. You know, you see them with their good hustling, even their sportsmanship. You know, they're always the first to give the ball back to the ref. So I want to see those players. I know they can be clutch for us going with 6 minutes left in the game. So I want to see George Corzine, of course. His size is what we're going to really need in the post. We're going to need, of course, perimeter shots and interior. So we'll see how that goes for us.
So Tigers and Goodpasture both coming out of the timeout for 2 Quinn Wheelock free throws. Wheelock sinks the first one. Wheelock claims Will Musgrave, but he misses that one. Still playing ferocious defense on Musgrave. Phillips brings the ball up the court. So that's Musgrave. Back to McKeaton. McKeaton for Phillips. Back to McKeaton. Fakes, there's Musgrave. Back to Phillips. Over to Dotson. Dotson wants the inside pass, doesn't get it. 7-point Goodpasture lead, and it's going to be a foul. Goodpasture ball. Graham Elliott is going to be called for the hold. Second foul committed by the Tigers this half. Excuse me, that was on George Corzine. So McKeaton will take the ball up. He wants the step back, and it's going to be called for the travel. He does not agree with that call, and that was a close one.
Looks like Corzine landed on him there, but luckily for the Tigers, they got the travel call on that one.
And the Goodpasture coach displaying concern for his players arguing with the refs. So Wheelock will now take the 3, and that's off. That would have been a big momentum shifter, but Goodpasture brings the ball up anyways. Here's Musgrave. He goes to Phillips. Phillips doesn't find any room on the interior, so he goes back to Musgrave, who promptly gives it back to Phillips. Phillips Over to Scarlock. Scarlock to Tinnin. Back to Musgrave. Over to Phillips, who takes the three and drains it. I even thought Christy Mizell may have gotten a finger on it at the end there. On Musgrave. Could have been a 4-point play. Nonetheless, Tigers bring the ball up the court. 10-point deficit. The steal by Gray Phillips. Inside. Scarlock. He missed the layup. A seemingly open attempt, but maybe frenzied by the slur of defenders as Dibble hits it from downtown as Gray Phillips expresses shock in that deep three. His mouth agape. Dibble playing fierce defense on Gray Phillips. 7-point Goodpasture lead. Musgrave passes over to Phillips. Phillips wants the three, doesn't take it. Inside, Scarlock. He converts on this one and gets the foul. Opportunity to bring that lead back to 10. Just under 4 minutes left to play in regulation. So Will Greenfield will check into the game for the Tigers, replacing George Corzine after he picked up another foul. Scarlock to the line, hoping to convert the 3-point play. That's good. Scarlock converts. There's a timeout by Goodpasture on the floor, but they're up by 10. So Tigers got a little momentum on their side. Cut that lead to 7 at one point, but Goodpasture quickly rebounding and pushing the lead back up to 10. Tigers are going to need a barrage of points and defensive stops if they want to get back in this game with time running out here in the fourth quarter. Eli, any thoughts on what the Tigers can do defensively to limit these perimeter shots?
It's been tough, especially that one from Christy Mizell, the defense there. You know, it's about as good defense as you can play on that one three-pointer later in the fourth quarter. But I don't really know what to say. I know that if we get some signature Drew Dibble shots from the blue stripe out there, those could, of course, get the Tigers moving. But as far as on defense, just keep an eye on those two shooters that they've got on the perimeter. They're really killing the Tigers right now.
Indeed. So Coach Jones and the Tigers will break it down. 54-44, Goodpasture leading. Elliott, Christy Mizell, Dibble, Wheelock, and Will Greenfield on the floor for the Tigers. Dibble to throw in. Referee whistles. And Dibble will bring the ball up the court. Back to Mizell. Over to Greenfield. Back to Dibble. He wants the deep three. Doesn't take it. And he goes to Mizell. Mizell over to Wheelock. Inside. He wanted Elliott inside, but he didn't get him. Wheelock dribbles around, and he'll get the ball back from Dibble. Inside. Greenfield. He wanted Wheelock. Doesn't get him. And an errant pass. Dibble hustled to the ball and got it. Dibble over to Mizell. About a minute off the clock here as Mizell doesn't take the three. Inside, Elliott. Nice finish to cap off a 40-second possession there by the Tigers. Cutting the lead to single digits, but 8-point deficit, staring at just 2:55 left in the game. Gray Phillips holding the ball. And Trip McKeaton will hold the ball now. Brings back memories of when Miles Hamilton held the ball for about 5 minutes last year during a game against FRA.
That was something to see. That is not an over-exaggeration. It was literally 5 minutes where he held the ball near midcourt.
So they're passing it around. Gray Phillips is going to get the ball, and the foul committed by Drew Dibble. Tigers have 4 fouls in the half. Corzine checking in for Greenfield.
It has been good to see the Tigers' navigation of this full-court press and high defense by the Cougars. It hasn't really seemed to phase them much at all, which is what they're really going to need in these last minutes of the game.
Yeah, nonetheless, I think you can take away a high-effort game by the Tigers. They really gave it their all. Couldn't do a lot much more on defense on some of those three-pointers. So, you know, it's just going to come down to, I think, size. And I think really Goodpasture has a little bit more talent than USN, but USN certainly played their hardest. And it's a close game. They still could come out with the victory, although they're going to need a lot here. And that is not what they need, as Taylor Tinnen will convert on the two-point shot, stretching the lead back to 10. So Dibble brings the ball up the court, passes to Corzine. And Wheelock over to Corzine. Corzine, Wheelock open. Corzine takes the two. That one does not take the roll he anticipated. And Mizell commits the foul with 1:44 remaining in the fourth quarter.
We've mentioned it a lot, but their depth, Goodpasture's depth, that's been a strong point for them. And you know, we keep mentioning the fact that they are one of the better teams the USN has faced this season, and USN seem to be holding their own despite the deficit.
So PJ Smith will get the inbound pass from Phillips. He fights his way up the court, and it's going to be called for the double dribble. So that was big right there. Double dribble call going in the Tigers' favor. 1:36 left in the game. Corzine looking for something inside. Inside, back to Corzine. Mizell lost hold of it. Inside, Elliott. Back to Dibble. He wants a long three. Doesn't have it. Rebound by McKeaton. McKeaton fouled by Christy Mizell. Just 1:15 left in this game. So McKeaton will go to the line. Tigers with 7 fouls, as Goodpasture will be in the bonus. McKeaton doesn't convert, the 1-and-1. Dibble with the rebound. Dibble back to Corzine, over to Wheelock. Corzine takes the three. He was left open there. He doesn't get anything. Rebound by Christy Mizell. Inside. Corzine wants another shot attempt. No. Rebound. Musgrave taking it up the court. Just under a minute left to play. Looking like it's going to be a Goodpasture victory. Just too many three-pointers that the Tigers could not overcome, despite the valiant shooting effort from Drew Dibble, as well as some intense defensive hustling by Quinn. And as a co-worker of Quinn at the Donut Den, we can tell you that hustling is one of his top motives.
That's right. Up at 4 a.m. in the morning, we're often seen in the dew of early mornings to serve donuts to the customers that come in. Quinn is always the first one there, last one to leave.
Indeed. Be sure to stop by if you're ever in need of a donut. We will happily serve you. So 35 seconds left in this one. Tigers bringing it up the court, hoping to potentially get some more points on the board. Corzine's going to cut it to 10. And they're not going to foul here. Oh, there's a foul. 23.5 seconds left in the clock.
The Tigers have kept up with the Cougars on the interior offense, but you just got to think with those two shooters on the outside, those really killed the Tigers today.
Gray Phillips will convert the free throw for Goodpasture. And Phillips is good. Dibble. Over to Christy Mizell. Inside Elliott. 2. Good. And Coach Jones called the timeout there. Down by 10 with Goodpasture in the double bonus. So it looks like, again, it's going to be a win for Goodpasture. Tigers putting up a good performance against the best team in the district, but just couldn't come away with it.
That timeout in the last 20 seconds of the game, it doesn't look like the Tigers are going to go down without a fight.
So coming out of the timeout, 13.4 seconds remaining on the clock. Gray Phillips will throw it in. Tigers playing hard, and McKeaton comes up with it. He is fouled. McKeaton and Gray Phillips struggling to connect on a handshake there, but they finally get it done. And I'm not sure what the call is on the floor. And Christy Mizell is going to come to the bench. And Goodpasture is going to put in a fresh four of players who have not yet appeared in this game. Cooper Pennington, Kennedy Jordan, Will Deering, who was in earlier, and number 11, Jacob Murrell, who was also in earlier. First free throw went off, but the second one was good. 8.8 seconds left. Maybe cut this one to single digits to make it look good for the box score. Dibble to Corzine. Back to Dibble. And Wheelock takes the last second attempt. That one's off the side of the rim. He laughs it off and then does not connect on the handshake with Will Deering. Struggle to connect on handshakes despite a brilliant, prolific attempts at connecting on three-pointers tonight by Goodpasture. Nonetheless, the Tigers fall 61-50, your final score, losing to the district best Goodpasture Cougars, who improved to 8-0 in the district. Eli, your thoughts on the game?
Well, like we've said, depth, size, those are the team descriptions of the Cougars that have really killed the Tigers today. Of course, we talked about their three-point onslaught that came to show more in the second half than the first half. But Tigers can't be too disappointed with this showing. Really stayed in pace with them as far as the perimeter goes, but couldn't get some of those jumpers to fall, and that's what really ended up killing them in the end.
So Jackson Jaffe, Eli Horton here. Happy to bring you this game on a Saturday afternoon. We'll be sure to get to you next time. Jackson Jaffe signing off for my colleague Eli Horton in the booth, saying good afternoon.